Alright, so, Quarry. Quarry is a different beast of a destruction map for Zaku Ranged to navigate because of two locations. The initial choke right out of spawn on the first point, and the way the objectives are stacked right on top of each other on the second point. These two areas are heavily defender-sided, and you have to pick your moment carefully as a Zaku if you want to make a play. Otherwise, you're just going to end up feeding. I always dash out of spawn into this side route and check for ambushes at the start. We've reached the edge of the choke, and the area is currently guarded by a Mahiru and probably one other enemy. I wait until the Mahiru has to reload and then swing out to scout the area. It's pretty dicey, so I have to find a different route. The pressure from the Mahiru is too much and I'm disabled. Thankfully, I'm in a position to be repaired. From here, I continue rotating to probe for weaknesses in their defense and I find it. I can't secure a kill, but I do get the enemy to back off, giving us more room to work with. Our gun tank was able to kill the Mahiru, crippling the enemy offense. If there was ever a time for me to make a play, now is it. I get the plant on the objective and set myself up for an ambush. I'm scouted out by the Mahiru, but I take the duel. I get the disable, but I'm forced away from the area. Instead of retreating to my allies, I go deeper into enemy territory for their medkits, and from here flank the people defending point B from above. I'm contested by the Dom Trooper and immediately retreat. My allies followed up on my play and were able to push all the way up to this location. I didn't even realize they were here, I was just running to the medkit. We win the fight, clean up, and fortify point B. I try to go for a sneaky ambush play but position myself at the wrong entrance. There's a chance someone could pass through here, but they're more likely going to take the direct route to the objective. It'd be a waste to go back, so I go even deeper into enemy territory and find out what mischief I can cause there. I hide myself here on point B and I'm trying to decide if I want to cap the waypoint or plant. The objective is locked anyway, so I decide to go for the waypoint. Now I just set up and wait for the objectives to unlock. Yeah, that's not something I want to deal with, so I run to the medkit and wait to see if I'm followed. Encounter the GM sniper and grab the medkit before rotating around. I start the duel but disengage in order to defend the mega charge. Alright, now we're in trouble. That was our best opportunity to take the round then and there. Two members of the enemy team probably have their ults or are close to it, and the rest of them build ult charge fast with the exception of the Pale Rider. I can't say for certain if this was intentional or if it's just how the fighting evolved over time, but the enemy team are positioning themselves perfectly to quickly contest any attempts to push onto the objective, and stamp out any possibility of a back cap. So you're going to see me repeatedly poke and prod for weakness on a heavily fortified position. It goes about as well as you'd think. Ugh, this play in particular is upsetting. I was too hasty to recontest and jumped down thinking the diffuser was still on point. Had I known they were already dead, I would have stayed on the high ground and poked away with my abilities. Sure, there were 4 there, but we will never know how much value I could have gotten because I jumped down on impulse instead of assessing the situation properly. I really should have ulted here. I think at the moment I was saving my ult to counter one of theirs, but a better opportunity showed itself, and I just chose not to take it. So, looking back at the footage now, I think our time would have been better served if we attached ourselves to 1 or 2 players and follow up on their actions instead of trying to break the defensive line with flanks and backcaps. It's really easy for a single defender to position itself on the high ground above B but below A and from there fortify both locations. But hindsight is 2020 and we still got the point at the end of the day. Defending on Quarry as Zaku Ranged is a reactive process and boils down to timing your aggression with the aggression of the enemy. Because of the large choke, you generally want to position yourself slightly behind your firing line. If the enemy team deploys units with high mobility, then your job is to dash to any of your allies that are suddenly being pressured by, say, brawlers or even a Zaku Ranged. If the enemy composition is poke heavy and static, then you want to poke and prod with your cracker grenade and weapons safely, dashing in and committing to a fight only when either your team or the enemies do. I like to start up here and toss a cracker grenade for some early ult charge. You could also attempt a high-risk spawn ambush, but that's not something I generally do.
The enemy has begun their assault. Roger. Prioritizing mission.
Let's give these brats something to remember.
Combat in progress. Deploy a
Normally I'd back off, but I noticed they don't have any units with high mobility, so I can hold position here and pressure the enemy for a little longer. I am eventually going to be pushed back, however.
hostile sniper eliminated. Yes, they found her position.
Now from here, we poke at the enemy when it's safe to do so, which is going to be difficult considering they have a Mahiru and a GM sniper. I opt to play very safe instead and limit as much unnecessary damage to myself as possible.
Commencing attack.
The enemy Dom Trooper goes for an aggressive play on our medkit. That's what I was waiting for and immediately dash over to assist my allies. Disable the Dom Trooper and use my abilities to make it to the health kit on the other side. We've lost both our supports and the enemy team is now pushing in hard. I take this duel with the new Gundam because I saw it use its cooldowns. I secured a disable and retreat from the Pale Rider to recover. I'm surprised I didn't die there. I think the Pale Rider was also out of ammo at that moment. I'm going to hold here and utilize this medkit as a staging ground for me to harass the enemy with.
Hostile down. Let's try this.
Okay, this right here is an absolute feat. I don't remember what I was thinking at the time, but it doesn't matter. I have no ult, I have no smoke grenade. I should have been aware that there were 3 players there already. I don't know if I accomplished what I set out to do with that play. I doubt it. But whatever value I got from that moment was not worth dying over. Based on the position of my allies, it looks like a team fight is taking place at Objective A. I'm going to use this as an opportunity to backcap the waypoint and then continue my rotation into the flank of the enemy team. Unfortunately, I'm forced to adjust my strategy due to the enemy Dom Trooper. I can't stress this enough. Be very careful when dueling Dom Troopers. I just so happen to win this time. Most of the time, I don't, unless I have my ult. This is another outright feed. I know the Pale Rider is there. I saw him, but I tunnel visioned onto the objective and was punished for my haste. I hear an enemy approaching the objective and I could set up an ambush, but I opt to attempt my original plan instead. I get spotted by the GM sniper, but I'm being stubborn here and try to see if I can't use the surroundings to my advantage. I pop smoke and get in their face. I've got nothing to fear from this position. If they land the headshot, they land the headshot. I'm not going to let that unlikely possibility stop me from making a good play. The enemy team is running out of time, and if we can pressure them enough, they won't even be able to plant. Unlucky, they're close to the waypoint already, but I can still slow them down. I get out of this play alive, but that was really close to a feat on my part. By all accounts, I should have died when I dashed in as I did. Our enemies have popped their ult, but we were able to withstand their aggression and from there net ourselves a few kills, fracturing their offensive. They didn't cap the waypoint on account of time, so anyone we kill will be severely staggered from their allies. Now we just clean up and hold until the end of the round. There you have it, Zaku Ranged on Quarry. GG's. Hey, thanks again for tuning in, appreciate the support. Feel free to check out some of the other videos on my channel. If video essays and reviews are more your thing, then head on over to my alternate at youtube.com/Xanthem. Either way, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!